Hey, y'all don't mind me. I'm just cleaning up after last night's party. So this is just some of the rust that came off that old roof. I mean, we got handfuls of it at this point. In case you guys missed it, we peeled the vinyl top off of this roof, and it wasn't pretty. I mean, look at this. We've got some issues to deal with. You know, I think this is the worst of it right over here. The other side's not nearly as bad. Yeah, if you missed that video, you missed out, man. Y'all need to go watch it, dude. That was very satisfying watching this all get cleaned up, because it was bad, man. When you see where we took the trim off, there was so much hiding under that trim, it was just crazy. But yeah, this is what we were left with. We got, you know, all the big stuff off of it, you know. Got everything cleaned out all around the windows, front and rear. So, you know, I didn't see any other way to do it than to take all that trim off. I did the front as well, in case you missed it. You see here, we got it all off. And God, there was so much stuff came out from underneath these trim moldings around the windshields. It was just crazy. I'm glad I chose to go ahead and do that. A little bit of work, but totally worth it. So yeah, having all that dirt and all that crud out from around those windows is going to help this car last a lot longer. And, you know, the metal is good, but with all that dirt trapped in there, you guys know that over time that will definitely start to rust out. So far our rust issue is isolated to the roof itself, but I think we can overcome that. A lot of us have been talking about how we can get in there and do some fiberglass work, patch up them holes, and then after that, just bed liner spray. And I think that's the plan for now. And then later on, can't stress this enough, we will come back around and actually put a roof on this car. I promise you that. This car will get a roof at some point, just not right now. We're trying to take the easy way out for now. That way we can move on to some other things like brakes, suspension, exhaust, you know, all that cool guy stuff. So anyway, I think today we're going to get this headliner out of here. It's got to go, y'all. We got to get it out of the way to fix that roof. So just another step that we got to go through. Obviously, we're going to have to take visors and all kinds of stuff out here. I'm going to try my best not to damage it, because it's a good headliner. You see, it's not ripped anywhere. There's no rips at all. So we're going to be careful with it. We're going to do the best we can, but it's got to go. And then obviously we'll put it away for safekeeping and reinstall it after all this is done. And, but for right now, you know, before I jump on that, I wanted to take care of something that's just been bugging me to death. And that's the stance on the old girl. I don't like it. I don't like it being jacked up in the rear. I know some of you guys are into that, and that's fine. Not knocking it. That's not really the look I'm going for. I think the front end needs to go up just a bit, so we'll crank the torsion bars up on it. It's super easy. But the rear has got to come down a little bit. We're going to level it off, y'all. So I've got the rear of the car supported up on some jack stands. I've got the front wheels chalked, so she ain't going anywhere. I'm going to go ahead and get this back wheel off. Whoa, look out. We got lug nuts flying everywhere. All right, let's get this out of the way. What better place to store the lug nuts than just to put them right back on? That's where I like to keep them. That way they're not floating around the shop. And we got to get these old U-bolts off, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of brush them with a wire brush here, get some of the crud off of them, make it a little easier. These things probably never been off, to be honest, so who knows. But this will help you get these off, because they are known for kind of breaking and all that kind of stuff. So if you'll just get the crud out of the threads and then spray it with some kind of a penetrating oil, whatever you got, maybe that'll help us get this off of here. Get some penetrating oil on there. It should come off. We'll see. See if we can break these loose. Yeah, there we go. Let's break this next one loose. This is fighting us a little, huh? I'm going to go ahead and slide my jack into position now that I've got all those cracked loose. So So I've got the U-bolts all loosened up. They're still in place. We're not going to take them off just yet. We're going to go ahead and get the shock out of the way as well. We'll get the shock off of here because it's mounted to the plate that the U-bolts bolt onto, and it's just something else to fight with. So let's just get it off of here. I have to get in here and kind of pry on this a little bit, get it to break loose. Let's see. Yeah, it's kind of stuck on there, huh? God only knows how long it's been on here, right? Man, oh man, we might have to put some heat on that one. Oh, there we go, there we go. It's starting to move now. It's on there. Let's put it around this way, maybe. There it goes. Okay, we're clear. Now we can go ahead and get these old U-bolts off of here. We won't be able to reuse these U-bolts. They're going to be too short after this. But I do want to save them just in case. You never know when you might want to unlower something. You know, raise it back up to factory height. We're not going to lower it a whole lot. I'm lying. I'm actually going to lower this a lot, so just deal with it. But we're going to make it where it still rides good, though. We're not going to sacrifice any ride quality. We'll do it the right way. So there's that. Let's get that off the bottom there. We can pull these U-bolts up out of here like that. Get it out of the way. This one out of the way. We'll put the nuts back on them. We'll clean them up with a wire brush, and like I said, we will save them in case we want to raise this thing back up. So with that unbolted, I can now, you see I got my floor jack over here. It's under the axle. The car itself is supported by jack stands. You can see one up there, maybe, yeah. So what I want to do is I want to separate the axle from the leaf spring, like so. You see how it's going up there. And what we're going to do is we are going to take and put this guy in there. That's the plan, right? And what that's going to do is make the car that much lower. You see how the axle's going up? Well, when the axle goes up, the car comes down, the body, and that's what we want. So you see it's going to lower it pretty good. So that's what we want. It's exactly what I want anyway. It might not be what you want, but it's what I want. That's going to go in there, and we'll have to make us some kind of something to line it up the way we need it to line up and all of that. But that's the idea right there. And then we'll have longer U-bolts that will come back down and bolt it all together. And we'll obviously have to do the other side as well. And after that, we will have a lowered car. See how dirty all this gets over the years. You want to clean all of that up. Maybe even dust a little paint on it. I don't know, just something to make it look a little nicer. I'm going to go ahead and clamp all of these leaves together because I do need to go ahead and pull this perch. I need it out of here. I got to figure out a way to do a slight modification to it to make this work. That's all right. That's to be expected. Anytime you're messing with stuff like this, you're probably going to have to go back and change something or what have you. Not that big of a deal. I'll show you what I'm talking about here in just a second. Let me get these clamps on and get that next bolt out of there. Kind of interesting little setup. This is going to come off of here, and what I got to do is I need to modify this little spot here so that this block can actually sit on it correctly, like what we're wanting. That needs to sit right on there. So I'm going to try to figure this out. Get all this took apart so we can see what we're working with. So I do have a bit of a game plan. I think I can straighten this out without doing a whole bunch of modifications and without having to mess up my perches or any of that kind of stuff. I really think about the only real modification I'm going to have to make is this bolt right here. It doesn't stick up high enough. Once you put this back on here, let me see if I can wiggle it through here. Once this goes back on here, nothing's sticking up through the hole. So once I make me a plate to sit on here to get me above this. That way this can sit on there evenly. Well, there's nothing sticking up through the hole to stick into the bottom of that. You see how that has a hole in the bottom of it? Well, it uses that to keep everything lined up and into position so that you're not changing anything, but just raising the axle up a little bit, all right? And this is what keeps it locked into place so nothing can slide back and forth. Well, unfortunately, you see there's nothing sticking up out of there. So what I'll do is, aside from making a plate that'll just sit right on here with a big hole cut out of it so that it'll sit over this. Okay, that'll give us something for the block to sit on, remember. Aside from that, the only thing I got to change, like I said, is making this bolt stick up longer so that it will stick into the bottom of this. That's it. That's really all I got to change. So I won't have to change any of this, which is cool because, like I said, we want to make it to where all we got to do is take the blocks out if we ever just want to put it back to factory height. We don't want to mess up any of this stuff. I want all of this stuff to stay the same. Like I said earlier, we will save the old U-bolts, and then all we got to do if we ever want to put this back to normal is just take the block out. All right, y'all, wish me luck that this bolt doesn't break off and that it doesn't get stuck inside the leaf spring layers. They're notorious for that. We have turnage. It's turning. Well, that's cool. That actually didn't even put up a fight. Nice. I can't even believe that's spinning like that. Yo, that's blowing my mind. I was expecting that to be stuck in the hole. That's a common issue when you're doing this. And look at this. It's coming right out of there like no problem. You even have to get the hammer out. I'm sorry. I don't mean to try to rub it into you guys up north, up in the Rust Belt. But, man, ain't nobody told y'all gotta live up there. I'm just playing with you. Let's take this over to the wire wheel and kind of clean it up and see if we can work with it or not. I don't know. Like I said, I may have to modify this. I was kind of hoping maybe I could just flip it upside down because there's a lot more of it sticks up this way, you know, which, you know, before it was in the leaf spring like that. But if we flipped it this way, maybe that would get us by. But let's go clean it up first. So yeah, let's just try putting the bolt in upside down, just see what it does. Where'd my piece go? Here we go. Slide that on top. Get this tightened back up. All right, there's that. Put this back on top. So now we're getting somewhere. Check it out. You see how we're kind of sticking up out of there now? Just a little bit. Well, basically what I need is I need a longer bolt because I want that to come up out of there just a little bit more. Maybe, I don't know, 1/4 inch or so, 1/2 inch would be even better. And then what we'll do is we'll put another nut on top of that one. You see, we've already got, get this back off of here. You see, we've already got one there. Well, basically we're just going to double nut it. And then that will sit inside of the hole, and that will keep everything located so that it doesn't slide back and forth and you have your axle moving around, right? You guys following along so far? Like I mentioned, we got to make a plate because I need for my perch to sit on here. I just want to make sure everybody's clear. So we need to make a plate that'll just sit right on top of here that has that size hole in it, and then that'll give us clearance so that this could sit on top of that and not be up here on top of this, right? And we could cut this off, we could do all that, but like I said, I don't want to mess anything up. I want to keep this all factory. A little bit of extra work, but it'll be worth it in the end, I think. I was over here digging around in the scrap. I got a whole 55-gallon drum full of just every kind of scrap metal you can imagine. All kinds of pieces of other projects and whatever. And I found this. This is the bumper bracket off that blue and white F-150. You guys worrying about that one? Asking about it? Wondering what's the deal? Don't worry. We're still working on it. We're going to get some videos out for y'all on that one soon. I just wanted to take a break and do something different for a little while. And this is turning out so fun, I just can't stop. So anyway, look at this. We got this bracket here. It's got this piece sticking out here. And I know you guys are following. I know what you're thinking. Look at that. It's meant to be. Look at that. That fits right in our little recess right here on the perch. And all I got to do is, of course, cut it off and then make a bigger hole so it'll fit over that. And then, hey, that's one side taken care of. It wouldn't surprise me if I didn't have another one of these brackets in there somewhere. But if not, we could trim the other piece out of this part. Man, this is coming together almost too good. Something bad's going to happen. I can feel it. Look, that's going to fit right in there just right. I found me a washer. It's roughly the same size as this. Check it out. So what I'll do is I will use that as my template. I'll put it on here, make an outline, and cut this out and let it sit on there. I think this is going to be a perfect job for my brand new drill bit. Look at this. These are my brand new Unibits, man. This was sent to me by a subscriber. Eugene in New York. Got my brand new Unibit in my drill press here. I've got my little spacer underneath it so that obviously we could get the whole bit to go all the way through. We can go to the biggest setting here, and we wouldn't be able to just set it on the table here because that hole's not big enough and I don't want to drill through this. So that's just a little spacer to kind of help out with that. We'll throw that up there. Turn this bad boy on, and of course this is going to take both hands, but you get the idea. Alright, here we go. Get a little oil on there. It's always good, right? Here we go, let's get started. The bit is sharp. It's nice. We're going to go through real slow. We don't want to hang up and get caught and have this thing spin around and around and around and turn into a propeller. Just keep alternating, you know, back and forth. What I do is I go through a little bit this way, flip it over, and go through a little bit this way. And I just keep doing that back and forth. Every once in a while I'll stop, dip the bit into some oil, and just keep right on going. It gets hung up, sometimes you can just wiggle it loose. Usually when it starts doing that, I like to give it a little oil. Something like that. Then I'm going to flip it over again. And here we go. Just keep doing that back and forth. I can't stress to you guys enough, man. I'm barely putting any pressure on this at all. You want to let the bit do the work. Okay, so it's starting to come together now. Check it out. Got the hole cut out for that, so now it just sits, and it fits nice and tight too. I can't even hardly get it off of there. But yeah, there's the hole. It just slips right over that, and now we got like an even playing field. Now, this does just barely stick up, and I guess I could go through there and just grind it smooth, but like I said, I don't want to modify this at all, so all I did was just make a slight little recess inside of here, you see? So now it'll slip right over that, and look at that, it just sits on there perfectly now. That's what I'm looking for. Now the only thing I need to do now is make this bolt longer like we had mentioned earlier, because it's not long enough to go through all of that and then come up through here. See, it's got to go through the leaves, come up through here, and then when it gets up into here, it's just not sticking out far enough for this to sit on top of to locate it, keep it from moving around. So, like we mentioned earlier, we're just going to make it a little bit longer, put 2 nuts on it, double nutted on the top, right? And then this will be able to sit right on top of it. So basically, I need the head of this nut to fit right in that hole. And it almost does. I mean, just almost. I'm going to have to shave just a little bit of material out of that hole to get that to fit. Not much though, just barely. So if you find yourself in a situation where you're drilling into aluminum and the aluminum likes to stick to the drill bit, transmission fluid, automatic transmission fluid will be your friend. That will help prevent that aluminum from sticking to that drill bit like it likes to do. So, like I said, we only have to shave off just a little bit. The aluminum is really soft, so it'll go in there fairly easy. Anytime you're modifying something, you're better off to kind of sneak up on it a little bit at a time and not remove too much material. It takes a little bit longer, but it's better than removing too much material, because if I drill the hole too big, then we're screwed, right? I'm thinking that ought to do it right there. See how our drill bit fared out. Let's see. Cool. Nothing stuck to it. Look at that. Little transmission fluid, man. It does the trick. So there's what we're looking for. Check it out. You put that in there. It fits just right. Awesome. I'm going to do the same thing on this one. Then we're going to put them in. So I've got it set up so my block is in place. It's locked in. It can't move front or back, side to side or anything, because it's sitting on that right there, remember? So it fits nice and tight too, so that's good. Now I got to lock it into the top up here. It's got a hole. You see that right there? So what I thought is, this is my plan. Decided to go ahead and make this little contraption here. I'll show you in just a minute what it's for. Look at this. I made me a plate. God, that thing is still hot. Hang on a minute. Made me a plate, really thick metal, you know, good. God, it's got to be at least 1/8 of an inch thick. And I found a piece of pipe that is the exact diameter of the hole here. Look at that. Drilled a hole in it the same size as my block, right? So now I could put this on top of there. Check it out, man. This ought to work out. Let's see if I can do this without burning my fingers. That thing is still pretty hot. There we go. See how that just slipped right on top of there? Look at that. Now I should be able to drop the axle down right over that little thing I made. Check it out. Yeah, that should fit up in the hole. We may have to wiggle it around a little bit. Get it up in there. Get all this to line up so that it could go in that hole. There we go. Slip that down on there. Watch your fingers. There we go. Now we're in there. That's exactly what we're wanting right there. Look at that. We are in. Now all we gotta do is put our U-bolts on. You guys see what I'm talking about? How that goes up through the hole now. That locks our axle in place. Now this axle cannot move, can't slide around on the leaf spring or anything. Everything is locked in. So now we gotta do, like I said, put the U-bolts in. We don't need any of these clamps. We've had the bolt through the leaf spring for a while now, so it ought to be good. Well, there goes my blue skies. Man, we were enjoying 70 degrees, and now we have another storm rolling in. Mother Nature has been a roller coaster ride this winter so far. I mean, it's been fairly decent, but you get these little storms that keep coming in about every week, and we go from 70 down to about, you know, below freezing, snow, ice, you name it. So here we go again. Hey man, I had to go grab some longer U-bolts. Those U-bolts I had weren't quite long enough, but that's all right. 25 bucks, AutoZone, got it done. Well, it seems as though Mother Nature did take a turn on us. I knew it was coming. That's the way it is. That's the way it's been this winter, just up and down, up and down. So not to worry. We should be back into the, 60s and 70s in a few days, probably. Seems to be the way it's going. And, I just want to apologize to all you guys up north for making fun of you guys earlier. I knew I shouldn't have said anything, because as soon as I said that, this came in. Yeah, I don't know how you guys up north do it, man. Dealing with all that snow and all that. I mean, you guys get lots of snow up there. We get a few inches every once in a while. We might get a couple of snowstorms where I'm at per year, and then that's about it. And then it turns to summertime again. We have long summers here, it seems like. Here we go, man. It's got our brand new U-bolts in. Pick those up at AutoZone, 25 bucks. All we got to do is put the bottom plate on, get our 4 bolts, or the nuts actually, to bolt this on. And yeah, there we go, man. It's just that simple. See if we can get all this to line up right. This is the fun part, getting all 4 of these. Let's try one side at a time. Yeah, something like that. And the new U-bolts came with this style of bolt here. I don't like it. I like these better. It's got the nylon in it, kind of help keep it from backing back off. We don't want that, right? So anyway, I'm trying to work with these gloves on, and I'm just not having a good time. I'm probably going to take these off. So anyway, I'm going to tighten these up. I like to tighten up my U-bolts evenly, just kind of go back and forth, back and forth. Switch over to the other U-bolt. We'll do the same thing on it. Just kind of keep it tightening up evenly. After this, we'll throw the shock on it. And this side will be done. All I got to do is repeat that entire process over on the other side. And we can put it on the ground. See what it looks like, man. I'm really anxious to see how low it is. We may have went a little too low, man. I don't know. We'll find out. If we are too low, all we got to do is pull this block back out, cut an inch off of it, put it back in, and away we go. That'll automatically raise us back up 1 inch. So that's what it needs. That's what we'll do. But right now, let's just get it all bolted together, get it on the ground, and then we'll figure it out. Definitely gonna need to put some new shocks on this thing later. Any lower than this would be in trouble. Get in there. Oh, yeah, we're definitely gonna put some different tires now. These just ain't working out. Alright, there we go. One in. How'd you like to do that on the side of the road? Well, alright, got the passenger side in. Both sides are done now. Let's get this thing down on the ground and see what it looks like. All right, last jack stand. Here we go, moment of truth. There she went. Yeah. Man, that is more like it right there. We are just about right. Like I said, we will have to raise the front end up just a tiny bit. And I think it'll be level at that point. Obviously, it'll have to settle a little bit. I mean, you go driving this thing around just for a few miles and it'll actually go slightly lower than that. Give it one of these, see if we can help it out a little bit. I swear I actually felt it kind of drop down a little bit. Look at that, that looks nice. So what do y'all think, man? Honest, give me a comment in the old comment section. Tell me what you think. We managed to get it down. And we didn't sacrifice anything. That's right, we didn't modify none of the existing parts or anything like that. So, like I've been saying through this whole project, we'll be able to raise it back up if we ever wanted to. So no sacrifice in ride quality, I wouldn't think, because it's got all the same suspension parts in it. We just blocked the axle up 3 inches. That's all we did. That's literally the only change that was made. It has all of its same suspension pieces, all the leaves, everything. I didn't take any of that stuff out. So she ought to float down the highway just like before, man, because these things are known for riding really, really well. I mean, that's why they call them land yachts. They just float around down the highway, and I did not want to change any of that. I just wanted it lower so it would look cooler, and I think it does. Now, the front's another story. I mean, we're practically sitting on the bump stop, so that is not going to work. But fortunately, these things are super easy to raise up in the front. Literally 2 bolts, 1 on each side, and that takes care of that. So pretty easy to do. All I got to do is crank this up just a little bit. You can count the threads and so that you do both sides even and all that. I'm just going to go until both sides measure out evenly with the fender well. Now you'll be surprised, but that little bit probably did it. So you can see right here, that's the bump stop. I mean, we were sitting right on that. What I'll probably do is maybe trim it, cut it down halfway so it's not so tall, and then we'll drop it back down. That'll give us a little extra travel. It doesn't need to be that thick, I don't think. But anyway, we'll try to leave it in there if we can. Otherwise, we're going to trim it in half. Drop it down, see if that helped us out any. Nice, we're getting our suspension travel back. Not too bad. Do the other side the same way, and I think that's going to get it. So I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but up on top of here, that bolt is pushing against a lever, right? That your torsion bars actually kind of pass through. And those bars, when they twist, that's what gives you your spring action, right? And this just get more tension or less tension on that torsion bar. And I mean, it don't take a lot, like I said. So we'll try that. It's pretty well even with the other side. And like I said, I'll measure it out on the fender wells with the tape measure, and we'll get it just right on both sides. Let's get us a measurement here. I'm gonna get about right in the center of the wheel. That way we can do the same exact thing on the other side. You can see here about 25 inches to the top of the trim. Let's go check the other side. We'll put it right in the middle, just like we did the other side. That way we're in the same spot on the wheel arch. And looky here, 25 inches. Look at that, 25 inches to the top of the trim. Nailed it. Well, damn, you guys, I lied to you. I said we was going to pull the headliner out. We'll have to save it to the next one, y'all. It is freezing out here. For whatever reason, my heater keeps tripping my breaker. I don't know what the hell's going on. So I'm out here. I can see my breath. So yeah, like I said, the weather changed and it's freezing, it's snowing, and what a perfect time for the heat to go out. I mean, so yeah, I'm not exactly sure what's going on with this thing, but I could turn it on. It'll run for around 15 minutes, and then it just trips the whole thing. The main breaker that's out on the pole shuts everything off. So I don't know what the hell's going on, but for whatever reason, heat will not stay on, and I'm freezing. I didn't want to hold the video up any longer, you guys. I wanted to just jump out here and knock it out. So we went ahead and finished it up. And in my opinion, it's just too damn cold to be trying to pull that headliner out. I could just guarantee it's going to split that thing. So yeah, it's like 15 degrees outside. Not a good day to be in here without heat. I'm expecting that thing to trip the breaker just any time now. I need it warm in here to mess with the headliner. We need it to be kind of pliable and soft. And with it being 15 degrees outside, that's Fahrenheit, you guys, anybody, all you guys up north, I can guarantee you we're going to be cracking and splitting that headliner. It's in good shape. I don't want to destroy it trying to get it out. So I'm going to wait till a warmer day. Like I said, Oklahoma, warmer day is right around the corner. I'll guarantee it. So yeah, that's Oklahoma for you. You know, one day it's 15 degrees outside and the next day is 60 or 70. So those days are right around the corner. And when that happens, you see the lights flicker in there. I don't know what's going on, y'all. But anyway, when we get a warmer day, we'll jump in there, rip that headliner out. And it's going to take warmer temperatures to mess with that bedliner spray, I do believe. So yeah, when we jump on the roof and start doing the bedliner spray, we are going to need it to be a little bit warmer outside. It's just too cold. I guarantee it's way too cold. So anyway, let's see how it all works out. I'll keep plugging away at it. If we can't mess with something because it's too cold, we'll just mess with something else. There's lots of stuff to do to this thing, man. So anyway, I appreciate everybody watching. Please like, share, subscribe, you guys. I do appreciate y'all. Y'all are great, and y'all have been helping me a lot with this project. You guys help me with all my projects. It's awesome. I can't thank you enough. If you like the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Man, that just tells YouTube we're doing something good over here, and it helps them suggest the videos. And these videos are doing really well. Let's keep it going, y'all. You guys don't forget my Instagram, link in the description, and Facebook, Weird Beard on Facebook. That way you'll always get a notification every time I put a video out. We don't have to wait for YouTube to suggest it. So what do you guys think we ought to do next? Head out to the salvage yard to get some seats? I don't know, something, that'd be cool. Some of y'all were suggesting recovering the old seats. Hey, I'm all for that. Chances are we'll take the cheap way out, put those seats up for now, and just do some cheap, you know, I don't know, $75, $100 seats. I'm sure we could find something good out of an old Crown Vic, Lincoln Town Car, something. I don't know. Those things have very comfortable seats. So anyway, that's going to do it for me for now. I'll see you guys next time.